Good evening, everybody. Now the setup is happening. We are going to set it up. Let the Facebook load and then we can start. Yeah, yeah, we are all ready. Hi, good evening, everybody. 61st mother, isn't it exciting that we are slowly moving right there? Um, when I started, and now 60th, and now that's also crossed. We're on the 61st mom. I'm very excited to reach the finish line very soon. Believe me, like even today, I've ended up having so many calls coming from different parts of the world. It's going to happen very soon. All mothers are aligned. So thank you for all your support and good morning from wherever people. Melanie's here. Good morning, Melanie. I knew before I could see the chat, Melanie's already here to support us. Thank you, Melanie. Priya is here. Priya is my one of my favorite moms for many reasons, but I totally adore her. I'm connecting with her after a long time, but I totally adore her. Welcome, Priya. And Melanie, thank you so much. 61. Wow, yes, Melanie, we must celebrate. Right? So we have a beautiful mom here. Melanie, you will love what she does as well. So hang in there, and we're waiting for your comments, and we're going to together be with Priya. Priya, go ahead, introduce yourself as the mother who lives her story, tells the story the best, is what I always say. So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Shikha, and a very good evening from my side to all your viewers. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Shikha. I think, as always, you come up with something unique. I still remember very clearly 10 years back when I met you for the first time, and I had heard the concept for the very first time, someone who would contract with a client when the child is in the womb and take the whole journey right up to the child is 21. Yes. And I was amazed and blown by that concept. And I still have your pictures. They still are my favorite. They're right there still. Featuring, yeah. So that's Shikha. That's
right behind you. I can see that.
Yeah. So you always come up with something different, something which touches the very core. I think that's what is so special about this whole initiative. I think kudos to you and your team. Amazing initiative. So simple and such a need of the hour, I think that's the uniqueness.
Absolutely.
Thanks, and all the best.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Priya.
Yeah, so I'm Priya Wadhawan. I'm based out of Delhi, but I'm very much a Calcutta girl. I have grown up in Calcutta. My parents and my brother and his family are still there. Professionally, I was a management consultant with Ernst and Young for a very long time. I was in the human capital division for over 10 years. Moved across different locations because of my husband's transfers when he was with GE. And I'm a proud mother of 3 kids. I have a daughter who's 13 years old, and I have twin boys who are 11 and a half. So they're almost like triplets. Yes, really blessed. And yes, for the last 2 years, I've been very involved in a very interesting, passionate project of mine, which is co-founded by 4 of us, again 4 mothers. And what we do is we bring positive news to children, and it's curated by children. And it's curated and anchored also by children. So that's the uniqueness of it. And this is a passion project for all of us. And we've been at it for the last 2 years. Yes. So that's a little bit about myself.
I've been seeing that grow, and I know you have a big subscriber list. So what's the subscriber list now for your channel?
We've touched, ours has been very organic, very organic. And we've touched about 10,000 subscribers. Okay. And over 2 lakh views almost there.
Wow.
And across the country and even across the world, we have anchors from all over now. So it's been catching up, yeah.
I'm telling you, the mothers here are going to totally love it, and that's the reason you're here, because I totally think that the step has come that this channel should go across the world, because what you're doing is so interesting about spreading positive news through the children, by the children, curated by them, bringing that on. And I've been constantly see it move, up from the time you started it. to now. It's unbelievable. Really amazing journey to all of you to even come up with this idea and do it. And that's why we are here to celebrate you as a mom. That, from where I saw you, because last I saw you, you were with literally triplets,
Yeah.
and 1.5-year-old and twins. And when I got married, and from there, coming here, beautiful, beautiful journey. I can't believe she's already 13 years old. It's
Time flies, absolutely.
and so let's talk about your journey as a mom, and then we'll move further to the self-portrait and the whole concept of self-portrait that I explain and what happens, and then we'll move further to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what's been your journey as a mom, having literally like triplets? How was that journey, and how it is now that you have teenagers, literally three
Yeah.
teenagers coming together?
Okay, so like I told you, I was, with a consulting firm, which, as you would know, is always very demanding. There's a lot of travel, long hours, and I worked right up to the day my daughter was born. But the day she was born, I took a conscious decision that my role has changed, and I don't have any regrets for taking that decision. I consciously moved out of my job and decided to be a full-time mom because we had her after a very long time. She came to us after 10 years of our marriage. So
Right.
she was, I just wanted to give her that unadulterated love and attention. And so there I was, a mom, and quite a helicopter mom, if I can say, because there were so many things that I wanted to experiment with. I like experimenting, but I also am very disciplined. So the whole process is time consuming, and I realized at the end of 1 year that the corporate job seems easier than being a mom. That was a realization.
When you accept it, like I keep saying that people call me an obsessed mom. It was like something that I was called very easily. I think you're obsessed. I think you're this thing. So I like the word helicopter as well, but I don't know what word is better, as a helicopter or an obsessed. But yes, I understand where you come from for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to be there for her for every milestone. So that kept me completely engaged, and I was also very sure that I would want a sibling. So we had the boys also very quickly, and so 5 years were a completely a crazy, challenging, sleepless. I didn't sleep for 5 years, literally, absolutely giving. But at the end of that, one can say the journey was absolutely beautiful because I feel that yes, you need to invest those 5 years at least, especially when you have three kids. So that was the kind of time I totally gave to them. And looking back, I have no regrets, like I said. But looking back, and if I were to turn around the clock, I would say it's important, as a mom, to be focused, but also not to lose sight of who she is and who she has been. That entity crisis should not be there. So if one extends this period of a gap for too long, you tend to be a little lost, and you'll always come back, and if you have it in you, you will come back. But I feel looking back, and it's always going to be a tough journey, but I think you need to, a modern mother, a modern lady of today should keep that balance going. I think that's very important. And it couldn't be at the
Tough
same
one.
scale. Yeah, it's a tough, you can't go back to the corporate life, to that busy buzz. Obviously, that can't. But, keep something going for yourself so that you're mentally happy. And until you're mentally happy, you can't give your best to your children. So that is clearly a big takeaway from my experience so far. Being a mom, like I said, I always feel that if one invests those couple of years to, get things in the process right in terms of, food habits and all of that, then the journey is a little easier, So, I mean, I don't mean to sound as someone who's, giving a kind of a talk on how to get their nutrition right, all of those things. But I think, yeah, small things like, disciplining them, making sure they're having their food at the table, or having their proper meals. If we give in those first few years, then we struggle throughout. So that was definitely a realization, and I think every mom should put her foot down in those first few years to get those things right. Yeah. And
just to take it from there also ahead, I think a lot of international audience does not understand this whole concept, that sometimes in India this whole table, just putting them on table and putting that, so a lot of new things come up in international audiences, and just letting you know different cultures, different things, kids are raised here differently. um, and uh, uh, and as I'm mentioning now, Priya, that as in more and more I'm getting into, we have Farida ji here, a beautiful mom, and she also agrees that I resonated with her being obsessed mom. She's supporting me here being obsessed mom support. But we've decided, I think definitely I have started stating it, and we've decided that just 100 shades in this book of 100 shades and 100 kinds of mothers, and all the mothers are coming up with beautiful part and a part that was a struggle. So both sides are like coming up, somewhere food, somewhere discipline, somewhere no discipline, somewhere absolutely openly leaving them to do whatever. So that's one thing I think we all can agree, that they're just different shades of mothers, and we are here. We must celebrate even the ones who are still struggling, and putting them on the table. So just making sure that everybody understands that we're still celebrating here, even if you're saying if we can do that, we can't do it, doesn't matter. What matters, what beautifully you said was that those years that are lost, those years when the focus is lost of us, and that even I turn back 8 years, I've been raising two boys, and I feel that quickly, if you don't come back, it's very difficult to catch hold of that person that you're totally losing on, and you have to quickly get back to that cycle and at least figure out that you're more than a mom, and you have to come out of it. So that was beautifully said. So I just wanted to say that about. But I've never been one for laying down too many rules. Yeah, that's why I said Farida ji is here with me.
Yeah.
We both are. So when we both spoke, though we are a lot of years apart, I was like, yes, you're my shade of mother. You're the shade of mother I can speak to, because what this book is bringing is that somebody will relate to somebody and say, yeah, you're my shade of mother. Absolutely. You're
Absolutely. It can't work for everyone. The same, everyone's situation, circumstances are bound to be different. One can just voice their experiences and their learnings, and someone would benefit from them. Someone may not be able to relate to it at all.
I'm with her. I am not the one with rules, and I'm honestly very struggling, because I am just free. Leave your children free, let them just learn, and then you're absolutely put it on nail, saying I struggle to get them to come back. So it's amazing how different mothers, different things, something celebrated, something a struggle, but the common thing is both happens to mothers. Even the struggle, even this thing, and even being lost. That's something that is a common thing, happens in different kinds. So let's move ahead. You were talking, and I just wanted to keep curating it little so that we can take the conversation to the point.
So, like I said, it was a whole dedicated kind of a commitment, while raising my three kids. And then when they were a little more settled, I was always, I use the word helicopter, and, I always realized that, news, current affairs, there's nothing, there are so many news channels that we keep watching, but there was nothing that they could watch, And schools have their limitations in terms of time and, the kind of the burden of other subjects. So I always would, be cutting and snipping out newspaper cuttings for my children and show them something interesting, something positive. And I'd said, hey, see, this is what something interesting is happening in Melbourne, because I didn't want to show them too much of, videos and things like that. So this concept was always there that, I wish there was someone who would do this for us, on a regular basis. I have the time today, but if I get absorbed into something else, I may not have that kind of time. And that's when I met, Gayatri Luthra, a very close friend of mine. Her daughter and my sons were all in toddlers together. And it was her birthday, I remember distinctly. And we met, and she said that, we are planning to start a magazine for kids. And I said, why a magazine? Why not have something which is audiovisual? You know, we need it. Magazines, there are many, and why not have an audiovisual format? And she was very excited. She said, okay, let's have this meeting. Let's get it cracking. And that's where I met Shikha and Ruchi, and we all came together, and we were all mothers. You know, that was the thread that bound us together, and we all wanted something positive for our children. And that's how IGRAASP started, you know, and to give our children all in the age group of 8 to 16, basically. And even mothers, you know, who are so busy and who don't have time to switch on or watch the newspapers. If they just watch this, you know, of the week that's gone by, 15 minutes, you know, they are refreshed, they are up to date with what's happening. They have something to discuss. Fathers had something to discuss at the coffee table in the morning with their sons, you know, besides just gadgets and PlayStation and all of that. So, this project is very driven from a mother's point of view. You know, that is what I think I want to focus. And since this is a platform for all mothers across, would love to hear, you know, what else we could include, and you know how else.
You will get a lot. You will get a lot here, Priya, because not only it's becoming a book, but now I'm also putting a very conscious effort for these mums to become those 100 mums who will support each other. So I am like coming up with things like spotlight days, where I'm going to be putting spotlight on different mothers so that they can use their links, because so many eyes are there on this project at the moment that somebody will get something. So I would be actively putting their links, what they do, and spotlighting them again and again in different ways. We're starting it this Thursday. You will start seeing 3 spotlights, mom, every Thursday. They would be spotlighted and coming. And what I'm also urging is that each mom also sharing. So eventually, if one mother comes up with one link and 100 mothers share it, these are 100 shares, something will happen. The change will happen. Because the beautiful part is that each mom who's come in this book is making an impact. She's making some or the other impact, whether to the work she's doing, whether voluntary, whether otherwise. But I've not found any mother yet in the 61 who's not trying to make an impact, who's not trying to do something. So I'm more than happy to one support it. And I've realized that this is not going to be just a book. It's going to be a community of these 100 moms supporting each other. So I'm 100. Melanie is here. Melanie is here. She's a parenting expert. And you will, like, it would be lovely if you connect to her. There is Francis, who coming from parenting space. Melanie is coming up with something called visionary parenting. You know, so these are teachers. There's I mean, there's a lot of people from parenting space also here doing it. So I can assure you, you will get it. And why I'm saying it out loud is because the more you say it, it becomes real, right? So I'm saying it out loud that we are going to. This is such a beautiful concept. It's so needed, Priya, and I'm so glad you did it. And that's why when I was talking to you, I was like, yeah, you're the mom, because we need this change makers. These moms need to make this change. You know, I do not even think of underestimating the kind of impact that you're going to make through this positive news. And the most beautiful part is children themselves are doing it. So relatability, the language is so, like, we're not talking at them, they are talking to themselves. And if more of us can start, Shaurya's just turned 8, and I want him to be like participating more in this, and you know, sharing it all. So this positivity will go a very long way. So I'm absolutely hats off to all 4 of you for doing this and bringing this forward, and also succeeding with 10,000 subscribers so organically. It shows the need that it has, and I am absolutely honored to bring you out here and introduce you to these beautiful mothers so that this can go ahead. It's just beautiful. I don't have any words. I'm not saying it because I know you. You're sitting here. It's my eye has been on this for very, very long, and I've actually internally been really praising it, and I've been telling Rose as well that how beautiful, you know, just a simple way of spreading so much happiness and so much confidence and so much relatability. So gorgeous. Melanie saying, I would love to connect with all in the parenting space. Yeah, I mean, Melanie, you must check out the channel. It's a very beautiful channel. So go ahead, Priya. So what did you find? Like when children were this started, the ones who are giving the news, the ones who are receiving, what's the feedback? What's happening? What's the change? what's the testimonials coming in for a channel like that?
Yeah. So, when we started, obviously it was a new concept. So anything new takes a while, Schools were a little apprehensive because schools normally don't endorse something very easily, unless they're very convinced it's part of curriculum, it needs to be a part of the CBSE board. For them to go out and tell all their parents, hey, watch this channel, is a big thing. And so though there were definitely teething problems that we had, in terms of, and especially COVID didn't make it easy for us. Schools were closed. We couldn't really go and meet the principals and talk to them and convince them that this is the concept. And we couldn't meet. We had a studio at Gayatri's place. We had a lovely studio, and we would do the recording for the first month when we started in February. And COVID hit in March. So the kind of struggle that we had with, there was absolutely no way our children could come down. So everything was, transformed into an online format. So at some point we thought that, should we shut down because we've just started and, our schools are closed, students are not accessible. Is it a signal telling us that, we shouldn't go ahead? So that thought did cross our mind. And then we had a discussion and we realized that, no, everyone's moving to an online format. So let's do that, even if it's the beginning of our journey. But we didn't pause. We went into an accelerated movement, absolutely. And it was brick by brick, one school, then another school. And what is so beautiful is that today, very proudly, we can say that we have principals who are watching the show every Sunday. Disturbing a principal on a Sunday and requesting the principal to send it out to her 1,500, 200, 1,200 odd students is a big ask. But I'm so grateful to all these principals who most diligently have actually assigned coordinators who do this. And it's like a whole rhythm is set in. Every Sunday it kind of goes on to YouTube at about 9:15. They receive it, we send it out, we broadcast it, and the whole process is in place, and they don't like to miss out. And I'll get comments throughout Sunday saying that, it was nice to see our child feature in the Hindi episode, in the English episode, or we have some complaints that why hasn't my school got a chance to participate this time?
Wow,
because we just have 15 news pieces and we have about 60 schools already. So it is a rotational format. So we always have that caveat saying that, we will try to accommodate, but we cannot guarantee all the time, because there's now so many children wanting to participate. So we have some principals who are not too happy and some who are extremely happy, some giving positive feedback, some giving corrections, because we also could make mistakes. And, though we try to do our checks and balances, but there are times where we've made a mistake. So, we get all that feedback. So that is what keeps us going and get it ready, for Monday to start scripting again and looking for links. It's a continuous job. So, when my husband looks at me, he says, like, you're working full time. It's not a part-time assignment at all.
Not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
And it's going to, I can see it, it's going to grow very big because, I think COVID has helped you even more to take it online, because earlier schools actively did not have an opportunity to even share good stuff from online because kids were not on computers, they were on physical. And I still really want my kids to go to school. I'm sure all of us are dying. 2 years of online is just killing us, and it's totally killing me as well with my child. But also that there's some things that were introduced, could be easily introduced because it's COVID time, and something like this which is so positive. I think it made it easier to introduce. And now for you to take it like I am sitting here, I always wanted to bring a coffee table book for women across the world, mothers across the world, photographing them myself with my camera. And then suddenly now that's also not needed. I'm teaching photography across. I am telling people how to shoot, and they are coming forward. And this book is happening faster than it would have ever happened. I would have finished that book when I was 80 years old, probably getting 100 moms across the world if I actually started photographing them, right?
Yeah.
And COVID made it so much easier. So I'm so glad that it happened, and then it's made it easier. And now it's going to take it to another level by getting global kids. Imagine more and more global kids can be reached out to your channel and brought in here. We have Preeti here. She was a mother yesterday from Microsoft, another beautiful mom with a beautiful project on vulnerability. And, she's helping in Microsoft with the concept of vulnerability and helping people to be vulnerable with their issues, what they're dealing with, and helping them to give them a stage. Preeti is here in our chat. Faida ji is an actor. Started her acting career. She's also one of the moms at the age of 51. Another inspiring mother, and she's doing beautifully with a lot of advertisements that we see her in. And I'm like, I get excited when I see her because she's. So I'm just recognizing the people in comments. But Priya, this is like, it's making me so happy. I don't know why I'm getting this feeling while I'm sitting here. This is going very big. The kind of energy that this has, the kind of what I'm hearing now. Like I as a mom, I'm excited. Okay, I would love Shorya to go and do it, and I'm sure everybody, because this is a brilliant stage given to children, and on a regular exposure. And just before this, I was reading about how our mind works. So even if you have a 2-minute exposure of positivity every day,
yeah,
lot changes in our subconscious brain, and
absolutely.
bringing that 2-minute or 3-minute, I don't know how long the news is. I think it's a 13-minute or 12, 13.
Yeah, it's 13 minutes, and it's a good mix for all age groups, right from the age of 8. We have a riddle, we have a proverb, we have a quiz. So, it would appeal to everyone. And we're also starting with a technology-based quiz coming up on Friday, an inter-school tech quiz. Wow. So we're all very excited about that. And the beauty of it is that we do not charge. We don't have a subscription amount. So, it is totally bootstrapped by us. And because we all were very sure that this, it shouldn't be that money comes in the way for you to watch that program. So, so we have our own team, and it's a lot of edit work, and there is a lot of work. Like I said, it's a full production team which is in place. But now we are at a different high. We are all very passionate about it. And because we've got lots of kids from Singapore, Dubai, lots of schools, even in Tokyo, wanting to kind of CBSE-based schools out of these countries who are looking at opportunities. From the US, we have kids. And a lot of schools are not only using it for current affairs, a lot of schools are also using it as a platform for improving their communication skills for children. And so that's it's taking different folds. Like I said, we first thought we'll just restrict ourselves to 8 to 12. Then we realized that no, there are a lot of students who are in grade 11 and 12 who are using this as a very good platform when they're applying for colleges, because it's a great opportunity to be an anchor for their MUNs. So we have a lot of school captains, vice captains from all the leading schools participating. And they do it voluntarily. We don't really give them anything in return except the experience and the exposure. And to have the youngsters back again, week on week is proving that we've got something right, at least in the right direction.
Yes. And I can never pronounce the name. What is it called?
It's IGRAASP, which is it's an acronym for I Get Ready and Always Step Up. Yeah.
Okay. I get ready and
always step up. Yeah.
And always step up.
Yeah. So it's
asking what's the channel. So just say that again. I think
it's IGRAASP, IGRAASP.
IGRAASP.
You should visit our website. We have a very interactive and a very interesting website. Yes. Shika has designed that for us beautifully. It's igraasp.com. So that will give you a total update on the episodes, on all the kind of blogs that the children keep posting, all the anchor details, all the schools that have participated, the whole concept. It's a live interactive website.
I've just written the name in the chat and I've given it to them. So, well, that's like what you're doing, and such a mother pulse that I'm talking about in this book, Priya. Are you there or are you frozen?
No, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Listening so intensely, I thought someone get frozen, and I keep talking about it, and I realize it's not frozen. So the mother pulse that I'm talking about, and when I say that the mother pulse takes the charge, things like these happen, right? Things like these book happens, things like these channels happen. Many things happen when the mother takes that charge, right? And that's what we're trying to encourage through this book, that no matter what happens, the mother pulse needs to keep taking charge of not only her children but things around her, to move things, to move forward, to make this this place called Mother Earth come alive, because that's also a mother. And only and not to underestimate men. I keep saying it, like, I've been raised by a beautiful father, but the pulse where we've been put,
Sure.
which is an ancient pulse, which is very recently, I'm saying it again and again, that it was even there before the dinosaurs, came with a responsibility, came with a purpose. That pulse was always there. That pulse was there from the day one. It can be called a creator's pulse, or it can be, but we as women were also supposed to be taking over, being keepers of this pulse, taking this ahead, and not only to produce children ahead, to send them ahead, but also to start making the change and make it forward. Because when our children look at us and they say, wow, my mother is a change maker, or my mother is creating spaces which are positive, they go ahead and create positive spaces, because there's nothing else to do but to do that. So that's why time has come that this pulse, which is now getting making an effort to start acknowledging that that's the real pulse. And I recently, I think last I spoke to you after this whole
Yeah.
pulse thing has become very obsession for me. I'm absolutely researching more where this thing is coming from as well. But I've just recently said that this pulse start is from the bee, as small as a bee, to the universe outside. It's the one pulse. It's the bee mother, it's the deer mother, it's the tiger mother, it's us, it's going upwards. You can go wherever this pulse is attached till there, right? And the the bees are getting extinct. The bee mom is upset. The deer mom is upset. No forest. The tigers are getting extinct. How will a mother be viewing it when these kind of extinctions, these kinds of things are happening? Our mother pulse, human pulse, is getting extinct, because I get questions: is it worth it, Shikha? You're heading a movement. Is it worth it to have children? So a lot of dilution is happening with what the reality is. It might be sounding a very woo-woo right now, but nobody can deny. And that's why the more I'm talking about it, people can feel it. You can feel it inside the pulse I'm talking about. And I've had people like tearing up saying that, Shikha, my God, like, it's there, and now that you're pointing it, that I can feel that pulse is needing a lot of help. And that's why this book is now becoming more than a book, because it's coming up as a responsibility to attach to that pulse and say, we acknowledge you, we understand, yes, we've gone off, yes, we just think it's all about us. We as mothers are stuck thinking sometimes that it's me, my children, my story, but it's actually, we are part of that pulse, and we are just like creating things, but the responsibility is to keep that pulse alive. And it can't be alive if we are not alive. We can't be walking in this whole life saying we did nothing for this pulse or acknowledged it. So moving from there, that's where I've reached. And when Melanie is in the chat, I don't say any things like crazy, I'm crazy, because she scolds me when I say things like that. Yes, that's where we are moving. That's where more and more insight is coming the more I'm moving forward. And I can see this ancient thing that is being given to us as an opportunity through this book. We can't fix it, but we can start acknowledging it. And the power of the mother pulse is, the minute you start smiling and saying, we acknowledge you, it'll get in its power. And once that is powerful again, how is this world not going to come back? Like, when a mother takes charge, how is the world not going to come back? It's going to come back. That's the only thing she knows. So moving, like taking you there, I'm just telling people this again and again, because this is what I have to do. Every time I speak, something else downloads into me by the time I end. So I have to talk about this pulse, because I'm very curious, what is this like coming from this subconscious mind? Where is this message coming of this ancient pulse? So I spoke about it. But as as a journey, I've photographed you, your family, what I was talking about, and what happens to a mom when she becomes a mom and this whole chatter comes across. Do you think you felt that as well? With cameras, when you became a new mom, you were all engrossed. Did you ever feel that this camera, this chatter did consume you, if not forever, but for some time? For some mothers, it's forever. But for some mothers, it comes and then it goes away by the time the children are grown and listen. Did you feel that chatter around the camera?
Yeah. See, mm, not so much around the camera. Like I think if one, I've seen some of your other programs, and there have been ladies who've discussed this. Uh, you put on weight, obviously, and you don't want to come in front of the camera. And in my case, I had put on about 40 kgs between both my pregnancies. Yeah, 20 kgs during my daughters and 20 kgs when I had the boys. So that was the challenge, and I think when I met you, I was just almost, kind of losing that, and probably that your shoot was the one where I actually was free and actually allowed myself to be photographed because. I still remember that day when you walked in, and I was expecting someone come in with, a couple of cameras of different sizes with lots of lights and everything to take the whole portrait of all the kids. And there Shikha walks in with just one camera, I think, and one friend of hers, and it was so casual. And I was wondering how is she going to spend the day with just that one camera. And that was I actually think that was the first time I came in front of the camera, very freely. Otherwise one is always very conscious and goes through that phase, and you still want to give it a few more you want to give the photo shoots a miss, and you don't want to come in front of the camera, don't want to be in focus. Yes. And but I think that was a very interesting session, and like I said, those pictures still are still my favorites, and they're still there. I probably lost a lot of weight after that, but those ones still remain. So because those are memories, those that was a different phase.
It was also very carefully. I'm honestly telling you that uh, I can call it a blessing that very early I understood how to approach a mom. I was very young. I was all of 18, 19 when I became a professional photographer. And very quickly I understood that uh, I see what she doesn't see. I was not a mom at that time. Of course, that consumed
Yeah.
me. By the time I became a mom, like, oh my God, I understand what we're talking about. But when I was approaching it, I find it as a very good gift given to me that I absolutely knew how to approach it. And equipments and questions and more things does not work. It didn't work because it only one. The more I asked when I started, I was taught that you should do a Reiki, you should go and you should find out what they want, ask some examples. And when I tried to follow that, what happened was whatever they told me not to shoot was something that I was shooting. Because they told me I'm fat, I was like, no, I can't shoot her fat. And that was like the front, this thing. Okay, she said, not that angle. To avoid that angle, I shot another angle, which was even worse. So I was approaching it with so much tight, this thing, that what my soul felt they were got lost. Because I love talking, I love chatting. I love interacting, and I saw so much coming in, and then it got lost because I asked too many questions at that time. So with you also, when I came in, I just said, "Priya, I'm coming," and that's it. That's about it. I didn't even know what your light was. I didn't because I learned natural light to a point where no matter what light you give me, I will bring that out with my focus. So when I start shooting, and you can confirm it, that I talk so much and everything is done, and honestly at a point I reached a point that everything around me becomes a blur. Like
Mhm.
I always say that it's only me, my creation, and what's happening and bringing that out, and my focus is just that. And it took me some time to get there, but I'm glad that I didn't take 20 years to get there. And that's why today I feel I was very carefully placed there to keep seeing this in mothers, to finally bring it here, because I have photographed so many moms with so many questions, with so many things, seen their journeys. All the mothers I have photographed, or I know advertising, I was always recommended. I was always, one mother, her entire gang would be like photographed by me. So I felt that today when I look back and I'm like, wow, I was meant to meet so many mothers. I was meant to work with my dad in the printing unit. I was meant to do big poetry events. I was heading a poetry movement for 12 years voluntary. because I know how to manage a big crowd, and I know a health space. So that Rohit and we went through a health journey, and I started a health initiative in Bangalore, and we reversed an autoimmune disease, and from that I learned epigenetics, cellular memory, this, that. I don't know what all I dived into to bring that, and then I did that. And today, when I look back, Priya, I see all this was my training, and today this book is bringing all that together when I'm seeing it coming together, and that's why it all came. And I'm so glad. So going back to what you were saying is that, you know, the chatter does consume us because we do change, right? We do change. And more than that, now it's even gone another level because we have so many family, groups, friend groups, this groups, that groups, where pictures get uploaded from events. And these mothers are thrown out because of this spotlight on them and something that they're feeling, whether it's overweight, whether it's whatever, it just keeps rubbing on their face every second. So it's become, this whole camera thing has become another level. So it's no more about memories. It's about what is that opportunity where I can look really nice? What is an opportunity that, I can catch myself looking nice? And then that's made us even more tight. And that's why the space is opening through self portrait to declare yourself in your dream. Never be scared of the camera. So thank you for sharing that you did feel. I felt it, and I started this because I felt, my God, my hair have gone somewhere. I lost 4 molars when my first one. I don't know what happened to me. There was some things happening, and I was hating it with Shaurya. I lost 4 molars, and I was just like, "What's happening to me?" And I was not prepared for it. And then my hair was like totally going away, dark circles, this, that, and I'm like, everybody said, what happened to your baby skin? So I was also going into that thing in spite of the person who consciously wanted to do mother's thing. I was like, my God, I'm not coming from the pictures. And I looked at myself and I rolled my eyes. I'm like, what is wrong with your face? What are you doing? The beauty thing is when the life comes back, you come back. And today when I look at myself, I'm like, I've come back. And it
Yeah.
only happened because I took steps to start living apart from being a mom, to start dreaming apart from having my dreams for my children, and bringing her back in her superpower. So I felt the same for sure. So, so you chat with a lot of mothers, right?
Yeah.
And you're in the teenage space right now, almost in the teenage space. Let's talk to a mother of a teenager. Uh, and she's bringing so much positivity. And I want to bring this light. And just in the morning, I was telling a mom that I want to bring a book out on teenagers, inspiring teenagers as well after this, because I think too much labeling has been done on teenagers and they're sick of it. Because I hear teenagers saying, no, I'm not doing it because I'm a teenager. I'm doing it because I want to express it. Oh, I want to say it, right? Too much label. Oh, you're a teenager. That's why you're talking like this. What do you think about that?
Uh, you know, I think once a mother, always a mother. So the challenges are just going to always be there, in just in different shapes and forms. I think one has to accept that and be happy with that.
Right.
That's very important, because when motherhood is all about, in your thoughts, you're never alone. It's always you're thinking about your children, and then you probably may think about yourself.
Yes.
So the transition, obviously, there are a lot of mood swings and all the basic ones which go in. But I think what I have enjoyed in this transition, because my boys are also almost there,
They're almost there. Yeah.
they're almost there. Um, uh, but because of COVID, I think, I feel that the kids have still been home, to that extent. They have been online, but mm, that real exposure to go and check out at parties and all that has so far not yet happened.
Right.
So I don't know how it's going to be in the next 1 year. That will be a real test. If you ask me 1 year down the line, maybe I have a different answer. But right now, I'm enjoying this phase because they've moved. They are more independent, and I can move out a little bit without them being totally, they can manage on their own. Let's put it that way. They can, if they are in some kind of issue or a spot, they can call me up. It can get sorted. It's not something which is very difficult. I never used to travel without them. I have started that. So that's a big change. You suddenly feel that, yes, you are an entity on your own to some extent, and they are also, they can manage without you always telling them what to do. They need that space. So I think that's something which I have experienced, and I'm enjoying that because I'm giving them that space. My daughter has moved to another room. That itself, means a lot of independence, responsibility. She has to take care of her room. So seeing them grow into individuals is lovely, to see that transition happening. They're taking stock of their own problems and to-do list, and they getting into the kitchen, wanting to know what's being cooked and wanting to try out different recipes. And they having a comment on what you're wearing, what looks nice, what doesn't look nice. So that I feel is a great part of teenagerhood. They has an opinion on everything. Mom, I like your makeup, or I don't like it today. So she has an opinion. If I can't go out shopping without her intervention.
Wow.
And so it's different. It's a different kind of interaction now with them. And they are independent thinkers. I think that is a space which is a big change. You got to respect them. You can't just bulldoze your opinion and your suggestions anymore. Even earlier we wouldn't, but now they have their own thoughts.
Oh, yes.
And the three of them are different, and how you respond and how you react to their needs is a challenge which you have to keep juggling with, because you can't compare. You should not compare, because they are different. They are definitely different in terms of academics, in terms of sports, in terms of liking, watching a movie also. They each one have their own choices. So figuring and sorting all of that is now a engaging activity for a couple of hours for us, especially on the weekends. But it's interesting. I think it's like, five grown-ups now all in the same house, each having their own opinion. It's interesting, like I said, but they have not been moving out, so one doesn't know how they would react when they start meeting their friends more often. I'm sure there'll be a lot of mothers who experience that, and they have another story to tell. But at this stage of my life, I'm enjoying their company. I'm enjoying them being participative.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And so Melanie says I could promote it on my visionary parenting online series. I want to promote resources that are aligned with the vision of empowering our children and ourselves. Thank you, Melanie, for that. Ancient Pulse, yes. Good morning, Cynthia is here. And Cynthia has 14, 12, 11, three daughters. I have three daughters, 14, 12, and 11. So she's
Oh.
here. Anyone else with teenager love the phrase I know? So like she thinks that her the phrase
Yeah.
I know. Preteen and a teen life with full force in my house. Yeah. No, I have not reached there. I'm like 8 and 2, and but Dia, my brother-in-law's daughter was 3, and your daughter, I think they're same age, and she just turned 13. 3 days back, 3 4 days back, we were in her birthday party, and something happened which shocked all four of us. So like all four of us were standing, and there was a big party. She was shocked, but we were with tears, and like our daughter is growing up. So we were just there preparing the whole party with her before her friends arrived, and then she just said, "I love you, but."
You need to go.
We all four came on me, Rohit, his brother and his, because we consider her like our first child. And
Yeah.
like today also I'm getting goosebumps saying it. But when she said, "So I love you," and she's like, "Go away," because we were just standing like any other birthday party and like, "What do you need? We can bring you that. We'll arrange for it." And she just smiled and she said, "Can you just go?" And we kept on coming in, and we're like, "I can't believe we've been just told to leave the party because our girl is now stepped in." And of course, we went away, but we kept on doing this to each other. That our time has come to leave the party, right? And so that was interesting, and that's why she is bringing a lot of insight, because I literally treat her like my first daughter. When I got married, she was 3 years old. And she keeps saying, I am not doing it because I'm a teenager. Stop looking at me like that. It's just I can speak up and I understand. And we're like, yeah, we're not doing that. We try because that's the first child of ours out of the 4 kids between
Yeah.
both families who's turning a teenager. So we're like, yeah, we understand. So that's why I asked that question. Do you get this? Do you get this? And do you get, you
I,
know, got that
it's going, like I said, once the interactions start and the parties happen, I'm sure I'm going to get
They have
my.
a small building and there's no COVID cases there, so they decided to have her 13th birthday party. And there were only 6 kids, but we
Okay.
were told to. We still coming in terms with that our daughter has grown up, and of course we hugged her a lot, and the heights are like this now to our age, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And Cynthia, I know mom get them a look from me. Yeah, so Cynthia understands as well. She's reading. So that's again, Cynthia, you can probably relate to her venture and her being a mom because I think same age group. And then, uh, so we already have a lot of support for you here, Priya. I totally support
Thank
it.
you.
I will make sure that Shorana steps into the zone because he's turned 8 this last month, and I would love him to start seeing. It's a great idea.
Yeah, you can watch it. And for being an anchor, just that we are, so that, everyone, whoever has kids, we are always looking at a cutoff of 12 years because, we use a teleprompter. And we've realized that the younger kids find it a little difficult. We don't want the children to memorize the scripts. And that's why we have this age constraint. So we have a cutoff for 12.
We might apply for our Dia, who's just turned 13, to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She should. She should.
Oh, it
Absolutely.
will because it'll spread like that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what happens is they are very good at it. Once they get into it, they bring more people as well. They bring more of their friends and it'll spread amazingly. So, what's Priya's dream? Priya's dream, like that's what the book is called, 100 Self Portrait, 100 Dreams. What is Priya's dream, if I may ask?
So,
That's,
there, they
that's
are
the feeling.
already
Those are,
entered.
no, don't worry. My Shaurya just left from here and you didn't see it, but from below, I just said, don't
Yeah,
come here because he's about to do this. He does it and he tells me about his tennis class right in the middle. So I said,
yeah.
you didn't see my finger, it was down. I said, I had 2 minutes. So it's okay.
Okay. So yeah, my like I said, iGrasp is the project that which is totally engaging me, and I really wanted to spread to a different level. I want to have a minimum of about 500 schools, watching it, endorsing it and 10,000 is, I think, just a start because when you're talking about so many schools and on a pan India basis and talking about anchors from across, numbers, I think they should just keep increasing. So, more schools and more children, enjoying current affairs because it's not a number game. Like I said, numbers is just a part of the assignment and how you track the movement. The main thing is that I feel as a generation, the challenge that we are facing is that children are online all the time, but they're not watching sometimes very meaningful stuff, or they're watching. You ask them about all the actors and the pop stars and the TikTok dancers. They're totally up to date with all of that, but reading is definitely on the decline. Knowing about what's happening, current affairs, like I said, there is nothing on TV for them in terms of current affairs. So through this medium, what we are trying to really strive is that at least they should enjoy knowing about what's happening around the world. The current affairs, the love for current affairs should not just die. It should be alive. And that's the whole thing, that if everyone enjoys watching the program, and it's not like because my mom has told me to do it or my mother has told me to watch it, I'm watching it. They want to watch it. They want to know what's happening around the world. They benefit. They learn a new word. They learn something new about the economics of what's happening, where is the crisis, how the environmental is getting affected. I think then we've made a difference. That's the whole purpose.
You have.
That's the whole purpose.
I just had a question coming up in my mind when I was saying this. Have you also tried to have an inclusion thing in your anchors, or kids with special needs, or some kind of a program where you've introduced inclusion in your
So,
anchors?
so what we do is, like we don't want to make it stressful. Like already, as you will see when your children grow up, especially in India, there are so many project deadlines. To expect someone to record it, and then each recording takes about 5 or 6 retakes. Obviously, you want to get the frame right, and the child is doing it for the first time. So you are already testing their, patience and time on that one day, and you need to get it back in one day because you can only script it on a Tuesday and record it on that Wednesday. You have that very small window, and that's why we do the scripting. We don't burden the children with writing it out themselves and all of that. So if there is a special need child, and we feel we can be adding a little bit more pressure. So what we try to do is we pick up these important days. If it's World Health Day, we have a coverage on that. We include them. We include a lot of NGOs. We've started that, NGOs. Where the medium may not necessarily be English, especially because we have a Hindi channel, they have a lot of comfort in participating. The comfort of the language is there. So we have included children from all walks of life, from different schools, different mediums. We have been doing that, and these important dates we try to kind of give them focus, but we don't want to just include them and put them under pressure. We don't want it to be a stressful activity. So that is something which we are thinking. We have some thoughts on it as to have a separate program, regularly kind of have their initiatives, kind of,
Yeah, this is why in
yeah.
my mind was because, yes, inclusion is slowly coming in. We have a beautiful mom. You must see her interview, Masrat here. This is Masrat who's doing tremendous work with, disability and especially able children and children with special needs. And she has some a lot of stuff couldn't come on the interview, but she has some heartwarming stories of trying to include them in being one. So just a message that I feel it's coming to me, so I'm passing it on to you, that today children are also not, because of COVID, not mingling with special needs children anymore, as well as it had started in the school. Many schools in Delhi had started it.
Yes,
And
yes.
I think if that, if when they are viewing it, if they also know they are one of them, and we can assist some episodes delivered by them
Mhm.
without putting too much focus, especially if the non-Indians, include them once in a while, so that that also becomes like when the child is viewing it, they start accepting it, because even that's been taken away, right? The
Yeah.
sensitivity towards last 2 years, India has been on lockdown. They've not met different kinds of kids, different temperament, different age groups. Shaurya is so static with a 2-year-old stuck with a baby, so he's dealing with the whole thing. To meet more 8-year-olds, my 2-year-old is stuck with just himself and the older brother, so he's having like, by now Shaurya was already going to a play school and he's meeting. So he saw another child, my younger one, the other day was walking. He saw another child of his height and he kept on staring like, does that height child also exist? Because he had not seen anybody of his height.
Yeah.
And for a very long, he stared and he stared and he stared, and he was, and he looked at me, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go say hi." And it took me a little effort, and I went to make them meet their hands. She was behind the bar, behind the gate, and I said, "Would you like to say hi?" or whatever language 2-year-olds speak. And I tried, and he was very reluctant because he easily accepts Shaurya's age group kids and not somebody of his, because he has only seen a 8-year-old or somebody who's that height, right? So for him to see another one with similar language and this thing was, so that's also been taken away. Inclusion, kids who are getting included have been taken away. I think if consciously we can, with your effort, bring that together.
Yes.
And meet Mrs. Masrat. She is on my watch number. I don't know. Melody can help me if she can. If she can, she has many kids who are totally. I mean, Priya, you will be in tears when you listen to that lady. It's unbelievable what efforts they've made to make these kids. During COVID, even against the government, they've told the kids to come and touch the walls, touch the go away or just pass by from the school, and they used to stand in the school and wave them so that they can start associating with the school they're so related to, and were coming out and were getting okay. And then COVID took that away, and they struggled so much. So if not about them but with them, we can move forward with your venture and have an episode of inclusion with another child, even if it's a little tough. If we can figure out the specialists and bring that forward, it'll give a lot of hope to mothers who are
Sure.
even more than us in COVID right now. My heart goes. I can feel that what they are going through right now, because little bit support that they had from school has been taken away, and it's tough. So just that came messages come to me, Priya, and I always make sure that I present it. If your channel can do it, because you're doing so much viewership, a lot of things might move for them in a good way. If that can be done, it'll be amazing. And we have somebody who can. I will introduce you to her. Meet her on Zoom, and maybe take her help how to bring this without stressing them out, and without and opening it up even to them. But it just came to me. Sorry, I had to say it. My heart goes for them as well. So Melanie is here supporting us. Cynthia is here, and okay, so we have all of us supporting. Many will come, they'll be waking up and they will see the replays, and all of them are supporting you to go in to the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the post and put your link to the channel, and you'll get some subscribers from us. I'm welcoming you to the book. There is a separate group of moms. You will get to meet them. There is a message board. There are pillars who will come support you. But the work starts now for Priya, which is the self-portrait and telling her story in 300 words. That's the real work. Declaring it in a book forever, who Priya is and what's her story. And I'm really excited for your project, Priya. And hats off to other founder members as well who are with you and doing this day in, day out, supporting so much positivity. So thank you for that. And don't go off. I'm just going to go off live.
Thanks, Vika. All the best. May the 100 turn into 1,000. Yeah, and all the best. Keep coming up with these innovative, such simple, but so deep-rooted, and like I said, the need of the hour initiatives. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting it. Just don't leave. I'm just going off live. Cynthia, just saying welcome, Priya, and they all are thanking you. They all must be watching the channel right now. So,
okay.
As a teacher as well.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to a lot of new anchors.
Okay, yeah, you've been claimed. Melanie, it's the time difference that Melanie's claimed you. So we have pillars, Priya, before I go off.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and they are voluntarily supporting me, literally like my pillars, loving me, supporting me, and saying, you keep moving ahead. We are going to take care of these moms. And I have made these videos and guides and situations where what is happening, what needs to be done is all in the group. And these pillars take you, and there will be 5 pillars, 20 moms each under them. And they're going to be with them, supporting them to reach. And Melanie's claimed you here today, saying, oh, Priya's coming under me as a thing. There will be a time zone difference connecting, but I think you both will figure it out. And Melanie, I hand over Priya to you. And you will love Melanie, because she's into the and you will love Priya as well, Melanie. But Melanie is amazing. She's our queen. We call her the queen in our group. So thank you, Melanie. She just quickly did it before I was going off live. She just quickly did it. So I just want to take a chance to thanking Debbie, Melanie, Francis, Kirtana, Kavita, which is my 5 pillars, 2 editors, Sumitra and Elizabeth. They are my everything right now for this project, and I'm totally indebted to what they're doing in supporting me voluntarily. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Kudos to the team. Absolutely.